Hey everyone out there, my name is Andre Clarizio. I'm a fire engineer with the Huntington Beach Fire Department. I've been with the department for 21 years. Today we're here at Station 6, Edwards Fire Station, and today I'm going to give you a tour of Fighting 46. Just a quick bit of information for you. We have 8 fire stations here at the Huntington Beach Fire Department. You'll hear me many times refer to the fire stations with a number like Station 6, or what's unique to our department is all our stations are named after the street that they're on. So for this station, we are on Edwards, and we'll call it Edwards Station. But like I said, we have 8 fire stations in the fire service. This is engine 46. And real quickly, just want to give you a little terminology, because we kind of go back and forth between a fire engine and a fire truck. In our world, it really makes a big difference. The fire engine is what you see behind me. It's a little smaller, carries a lot of hose and a lot of water. The fire truck is usually a lot bigger. It's the one that has the driver in the back usually and a lot of ladders. We have different responsibilities, but we're all firefighters and we all do the same thing. Anyhow, this is engine 46. We have 4 people on this engine. We have a captain, an engineer, and 2 firefighters. The captain, this person is pretty much in charge of it. That's like our parent, our mom, our dad. And he's kind of like our coach. This person's like our coach. This person basically, he's in charge of us. They tell us kind of what we're going to do throughout the day, and on fires they take charge and do everything that they need to do to make sure that we're safe. The fire engineer, which is my position, I sit in the driver's seat. My responsibility is to drive this to your home if there's an emergency. I make sure that all the equipment is ready to go. I make sure that everything is working properly. And then one of my big jobs on fires is to pump water, to get water to the firefighters so they can put it out. Then behind us are the 2 firefighter paramedics. They're the ones that not only are they firefighters, they come in and fight your fire, but they're also the medical experts. They come in when you call. Kids, you know what number you call when you have to call 911. Perfect. You said that, you got it. When you call 911, they're the paramedics. They'll do all the medical stuff. They'll get on our ambulances and escort you to the hospital, but they both sit in the back. But we'll start our tour and we'll walk over here. So as you can see, we're set up to do all sorts of different kinds of things. This is for the boys and the little boys and girls out there that always wonder. This is one of our smaller hoses. So you can see it's about as big as my hand. Now I'm going to show you some bigger hoses. But these lines put out quite a bit of water, and we're set up for quick attacks, for getting the hose off fast and getting water to the hose and getting the firefighters in there and doing their job that they need to do. Our fire engines are set up so that most of the firefighting equipment is located on this side of the engine, so you'll see that. And then most of the medical equipment for the paramedics when we run medical calls or traffic collisions where they need medical assistance is set up on the other side. I'll give you a quick glimpse into my little world here. This is where I sit, and you can see I have a lot of buttons and switches and things, and each of these things control lights and sirens and different things that we need as we're responding code 3, so that cars can move to the side of the road and let us get to your home quickly and do what we have to do. You could look on the floor here. I know most of the kids like to look, and on the floor here, I'll point at them. We have 2 little pedals, and those 2 little pedals are for horns and sirens. So not only are we driving, but we're using our feet to make noise and let people know that we're coming. As we move across, I'll give you a little glimpse to the back seat here. Now you can see there's a lot of equipment, and we're responsible for making sure all of our equipment's ready to go, always prepared. And but this is where the firefighter paramedics sit, and they have all their equipment, all their what we call PPE, which is our protective equipment for medical calls, and all this stuff is set up and ready to go. As we move to the center of the fire engine here, you see a lot of shiny buttons and gauges and valves, all right? Well, this is what we call the pump panel, and as a fire engineer, I'm supposed to know this thing inside and out, and over the years I think I have, but this is how we deliver water. Water comes in from our fire hydrants, and water comes out from our different hose, what we call our discharges. And you can see some of our hose here. We have different amount of hose, and they're each laid out for different types of fires and different ways that we can access people's homes and get in there. And that's part of our hose complement. We have more in the back. And remember, like I said, the fire engines carry the hose and carry water versus the fire trucks that will have more ladders. So this is my compartment. Again, on this side, just kind of moving, and you can see, again, everything's set up. We have all sorts of little tools so that we can go into your home and fix things and do what we have to do to make your home safe if you call us, if you need anything from us. I'll show you this real quick. You've probably already seen it. Just part of our equipment, again, just always being ready to perform. This is our backpack. This is our air, just what we breathe as we're going into fires. It's just regular air that's compressed that allows us to get back in there and not breathe those harmful smoke that happens when there's fires. But this is pretty heavy, and if you were here, I'd let you lift it and see how heavy it has to be. And it's a reason why firefighters have to be physically fit and be able to work with this stuff, because we'll work on it for anywhere from a half hour to a few hours, and changing the ball as we go, and they really make it tiresome, but we do stay protected from there. What would a fire engine be without some fire extinguishers, right? These are probably something you see in the stores. Very basic. We have fire extinguishers for all different kinds of fires, but they're just quick for us to go. All right, so this last compartment here, like I said, all the firefighting equipment is located on this side, and you can see most of our firefighting equipment right here. We have all sorts of little fittings that we would hook up to our hose to allow us to move water and do things with our different hoses. You remember the nozzle up front? It was about as big as my hand. Now let's look at this one. This one's almost 2-3 times the size of my hand. So this puts out a lot of water. We call this a 2.5-inch nozzle. It puts out a lot of water. And then we also have our medium nozzle. This is probably the one we use the most, but it's a medium size. So some of our fire nozzles, you can see some more of our equipment. We have the famous pick-headed axe, which is the firefighter's axe, right? We can use this to get into all sorts of things and destroy all sorts of stuff if we have to put the fire out, okay? Some other tools we have, right? We have some power equipment. This tool on the bottom here is what we call our circular saw. And again, we will use this to cut into gates, to doors, to all sorts of things in order to make access to get to people's homes or businesses to put the fire out, okay? I'm not gonna start it right now because it's loud, but it is one of our equipment. You can see all sorts of different water tools and appliances all down here. And then finally, we have something we call the tools to the city. This is called our irons. And basically this was kind of same thing as that, but we can get into pretty much any door, any gate, anything with this by utilizing all the different parts of these and banging things and moving things around. But we call this the keys to our city because it allows us to get into most of our stuff. All right, we'll move to the back here. And up in here, this is where we have the big hose. So you can see how much bigger this hose is than the hose that was up front. And this would be, I'd consider this our medium-sized hose, but these are 2.5, so they fit on that big nozzle I showed you. And this is what we would normally hook up to if we were hooking it to the fire hydrant to bring us water and allow us to pump a bunch of water to the fire. But this is we have 800 feet of it, and it's heavy hose, but it gets us water and does what we need to do. You might be asking, everything looks pretty slim and clean here, but where are the ladders, right? We need ladders for fire department. Well, our ladders are shoved and hidden back in here. You can see they go all the way down the back side of the fire engine. We have 3 ladders, but these are our 2 biggest ones here. This one, and there's a second one in there, a 24-foot. But this is where we can store our ladders. Then we come to this side, and if you remember, I said we have a lot of the medical stuff on this side. So this compartment here is all of our paramedic stuff. We have a heart monitor that will read your heart. We have all of our different kinds of stuff for your airway if you're having problems breathing, and all of our medications and needles that we would put into your arm. But all of this stuff here is for medical calls. And one thing new that we can show people here is we have something called the Striker, which is an automatic CPR machine. I won't take it out, but it basically does CPR, keeps it consistent and at the right depth. So you might see this put on a patient if their heart's not working and they need some CPR. You might see us put this on their chest, and it looks scary, but it actually works very, very well. It's been saving people's lives. again, more medical stuff and oxygen and things that we would use out in the field there. This here is for our ocean rescue or water rescue if we needed to do some of that type of rescue, because we are Huntington Beach. And if you're wondering, I always get questions in stations, if you're wondering what this hose is, the diesel, the exhaust that comes out is very, very, very bad for us. So we utilize these systems. They hook up to our exhaust, and then when we leave, these things will let go, and they have a fan that will suck out all the bad fumes, okay? This is the captain's, where he keeps his equipment, and then we have some other stuff back here that's for traffic collisions, some kitty litter that we would throw on the ground to soak up oil, but basic stuff here. But this is the captain's compartment. Okay, and as we come around, you can see the other side of the hose bed. Right here, I'll just have the camera kind of go up, and you can see what we call our deck gun. And that is if we really need big water. I'm sure you guys on TV have seen firefighters pump water through there, but that could pump a lot of water, 1,000 gallons per minute and more with some of the other tips that we have. But that's called the deck gun. We can also take that off and bring it to the ground and use it on the ground. And over here is just the other side of the pump panel, and you can see we have where our hose would discharge water, where water comes out and where water goes in. Okay? And then the only other seat I want to show you is the captain's seat. The captain always wears a red helmet, and this tells you and lets everybody know that he's in charge. And you can see that he's got a computer, he's got his radios, he's got his books, he's got stuff that he has to look at and know, because when we go on a call, he will route me and he will tell me which direction to go and how to get to your home. And then this is how he talks to our dispatch and other firefighters and other units. All right, so this is Engine 46. I hope you've had a good time. I hope I answered most of your questions. Remember, if you ever have any questions, you can come to the fire station. We'd be more than happy to talk to you and give you a quick tour when our world allows it again, right? But other than that, thanks for watching, and hope you have a great rest of the day.